Hey guys, today I'm coming to you with a fun Halloween recipe that you can do with your kids, your grandkids, nieces and nephews, and the whole family will love making keto mummy dogs. Now, in the past, my family has a long-standing tradition of making crescent roll mummy dogs, but of course, when we started the ketogenic lifestyle, I needed to find a way to make these since I could no longer use crescent rolls from the store. Well, thankfully, we have fathead dough, which we all know is the end-all be-all of bread recipes in the ketogenic diet. It is great for buns, it is great for rolls, it is great to even make sweet desserts such as sopapilla cheesecake or cinnamon rolls, which I have a video that I'll link up here for those fathead dough cinnamon rolls. But today we are making keto mummy dogs, just in time for Halloween. Now they're really simple to make, and this is going to be a modified version of my fathead dough. And so it's going to include mozzarella cheese, 1 cup, 1 cup of almond flour, 1 ounce of cream cheese, and 1 egg. You'll notice everything is 1, 1, 1, 1, super simple to remember. And then this is actually going to be enough dough to make 8 mummy dogs. And then of course, you will need a little bit of baking powder to help the dough from being too terribly dense. And I use Dijon mustard to make the eyes for the mummy dogs, but you could use a sugar-free ketchup, or you could draw more than just eyes, however you would like to decorate your mummy dog. All right guys, let's get to the recipe. The first thing you want to do is you want to take the mozzarella cheese and the cream cheese, and you're going to want to melt this in a microwave in 30-second intervals until you get the cheese good and melty. Now, if you don't want to use a microwave, of course, you can do this on the stove top, but for time's sake, today I'm going to go ahead and use that microwave. We'll be right back. All right, we have our cheese and our cream cheese melted. The next thing we want to do is we want to add an egg to this and get that mixed as well as we can. We're going to take an egg and just crack it into the cheese. Make sure the cheese mixture actually cools off quick enough that you shouldn't have to worry too much about the egg cooking. And you're not going to get this fully incorporated because there's going to remain a bit of separation with the egg and the cheese, but just, get it as mixed as well as you can. And finally, for the dough, we are going to add our 1 cup of almond flour and a ½ teaspoon of baking powder, or baking soda will also work just fine, whichever one you have on hand. You can start out working this together with your spoon, but eventually, as is the case with most fathead doughs, you're going to have to get your hands a little dirty, a little sticky to get everything mixed in really good. It's going to be very, very sticky. Once it looks like it's good and mixed up, and you don't really see any individual parts to it, then it's a good idea to go ahead and wet your hands down with warm water so the dough is a little bit easier to work with. Now you want to take this dough and you'll actually want to divide it in half. So you're going to have just divide it into half, and so you're going to roll out and make 4 mummy dogs with each of these dough balls. Breaking it in half, that's really just to keep it simple and to keep, when you roll it out, to keep it to a manageable size. All right, now we're going to take this, we're going to roll it out, and we're going to use a pizza cutter to cut it into thin strips, which will be the mummy wrap. And the best way to roll this out is just get 2 pieces of parchment paper, put the dough ball in between the two, and I'm going to flatten it out with my hand a little bit first, and I'm going to try to get this in mostly a rectangle shape, just so that it is easy to work with and I can get some longer strips done. And it doesn't have to be too terribly thin. So you just want, I would say even leave it a little bit thicker than what, say, you would roll out fathead pizza dough with. All right, now we're going to use the pizza cutter to cut this into strips of mummy wrap. Now since this is going to work for 4 hot dogs total, I'm going to go ahead and split this down the middle. That way I can have it mostly even for each dog. And actually I'll go ahead and split it into 4ths. That way we have 1 big strip that I'll be cutting into smaller strips for each of the mummy dogs. So the dough should be fairly easy to work with. The thinner the strips, of course, the more realistic the wrapping is, I guess. But you can slice them to any of your preferred thickness. All right, once you have the strips for the very first dog cut up, you're just going to take your mummy dog and you're going to just roll him up 1 strip at a time, And you know, you don't want this to look perfect, right? You don't want nice, perfect lines and strips. You want it to look like it's kind of thrown on there, thrown together. So this part, like I said, this is why it's so great for kids, because it doesn't have to be perfect. In fact, you don't want it perfect. You just want the mummy rolled up, nice and crazy. So it looks like he's been wrapped up in bandages. And then once you're done, just take a section of the dough and separate it, because that's going to be your mummy face. Alright guys, I'm going to get this second dough ball rolled up, and then we're going to put these in the oven at 400 degrees for about 12 to 15 minutes, or until the mummy dogs are golden brown. We'll be right back. Alright guys, these are out of the oven. They're looking good. They're nice and golden brown. And the only thing left to do is to put their little eyeballs on. So again, you can use mustard is great because it's very keto friendly. Just make sure it doesn't have added sugars. And if you can find a no sugar added ketchup, that can also work. But the mustard really shows up a lot better. So I like to use a toothpick because it helps me not just glob on the eye. But you know, you could probably use a Q-tip, which sounds kind of gross, but if it's clean, it's fine, right? Yeah, so you just put the little eyes on there. And then after that, you just get to enjoy eating them. These will hold up in the fridge if you want to make them ahead. They actually hold up in the fridge really well. Of course, I wouldn't necessarily put the eyeballs on until you're ready to eat them. But heat up in the microwave for about 30 seconds to a minute, depending on how hot your microwave is. And then you can just enjoy. Alright guys, I'm going to finish these eyeballs. I'm not that it goes off so well. But that's all I have for you today. I might have one more Halloween recipe coming out. I don't know if I have time this week because it is already Tuesday and Halloween is in 2 days. If you are craving Halloween candy and you need a good substitute for your chocolate, especially if you're a fan of Reese cups, I do have a recipe on my blog for ketogenic chocolate peanut butter cups. I will link that in the description box below. Alright guys, that's all I have for you today. Make sure you check out my other videos, and I hope you have a safe and fun Halloween. I will see you on the next video.